Good morning to all. In this video, I would like to explain about on-demand routing protocol. Okay, so on-demand routing protocols examples are dynamic source routing protocol, ad hoc on-demand distance vector routing protocol, and temporarily ordered algorithm and location aided routing protocol, and associative based routing protocol, and signal stability based adaptive routing protocol (SSA), and flow oriented routing protocol FORP. So out of this we can discuss several protocols in on demand routing protocols. So the first one is dynamic source routing protocol. So the dynamic source routing protocol is a on demand routing protocol. Okay, so in this on demand routing protocol we should not maintain any tabular information like table driven routing protocol. So but here the on demand routing protocol like DSR is somewhat differ to other on demand routing protocol. The difference is here there is no need to maintain the beacon less. Okay, so beacon less, so does not require periodic hello packets. That is nothing but here there is no need to require periodically we are sending the hello packets like this. Okay, so and here we can maintain the routing cache. So instead of hello packets we can maintain the routing cache. Okay, so here the packet how the packet is reaches from source to destination. So there are mainly two phases. Those two phases are, one is route discovery phase and another is route maintenance phase. Okay, so route discovery phase and route maintenance phase. So in this route discovery phase, if an forwarding node has a route to the destination in its route cache and sends the route reply to the source. Okay, here there is mainly two phases. Those are nothing but route discovery and route maintenance phase, and also two signals, that is route request signal and there is a route reply signal. So in the case of route request signal, first the source node will sends the route request signal to the destination nodes. First of all, the source node will send the route request to the two adjacent nodes. Okay, and again those nodes will send to the again adjacent nodes. Like this, the route is discovery to the destination node. Like this, we can, by using this route request signal, we can establish the route discovery, that is nothing but path to the destination node. Okay, so again from this destination node, so we can send the signal route reply. So route reply signal is sends to the destination source from the destination to source node. So once the source node is reaches to route reply, okay, this route is no problem, so then we can transfer the data. Okay, like this the data can be transferred in a dynamic source routing protocol. So let us assume this example. So there is a source node is 15 source node is 1 and destination node is 15. Okay, now the how the packet is reaches to source node 1 to destination node 15. So here the source node first will sends the route request packet to the adjacent node like 2 5 6. So again 2 5 6 nodes are sending the route request packet to the their adjacents. Like this all adjacent nodes will sends to the corresponding adjacent nodes in the network, in the network up to our destination is reached. So once the node 15 is reaches to the destination, node 15 is reaches to the route request packet, then the node 15 will sends the route reply packet to the source node. Okay, in the route request message, it consists of source ID. Okay, so here the route request phase, it consists of source ID to the destination. So by identifying this source ID, so to the destination, so the route reply, that is destination node will sends the route reply. So out of there are several route replies are sending to the destination to source. So in this example there are three paths, that is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 7, 7 to 9, 9 to 13 and 13 to 15. this is one path, and another path is 1 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 12, 12 to 15, this is another path, and path 3 is 1 to 6, 6 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 14, 14 to 15. These are the three paths to reach the source to destination of our packet. So out of these three packets, so here dynamically we can select any one of the route. Okay, so this is the dynamic source routing protocol. Out of these three paths, so we can dynamically select any one of the route to reach our destination. So this is the route establishment in DSR, that is dynamic source routing protocol, and another one is route maintenance, and another phase is route maintenance phase. So in the case of route maintenance, if there is any one path, is broken, that is 12 to 15 path is broken, so out of this 12 to 15 one path is broken, so there is alternative paths, so that is path 1 and path 2, path 3, we can reach the packet. So like this, if any one of the link is broken or any one of the path is damaged in the network, so we can choose the another alternative paths in the dynamic source routing protocol. Okay, so there are several advantages and several disadvantages in the dynamic source routing protocol. Here the advantages is no need to updating the routing tables. Okay, because of this is on-demand routing protocol, here no need to maintain any routing table, so that is the main advantage. And another advantage is so intermediate nodes are able to utilize the route cache information efficiently to reduce the control overhead. So here the intermediate nodes maintains the temporary information or frequently stored information. By using this frequently stored information, we can reduce the overhead. Okay, and also here there is no hello packets, there is no beacon less packets. So these are the three advantages using dynamic source routing protocol. And another protocol is ADHAC on demand distance vector routing protocol. So here ADHAC on demand routing protocol is also on demand routing protocol. Okay, here here every node is maintained routing table. When a node knows a route to a destination, it sends the route reply to the source node. Okay, this is the main intention in the ADHAC on demand distance vector routing protocol. Okay, here the major difference between dynamic source routing protocol and ADHAC on demand routing protocol are DSR uses source routing in which data packet carries the complete path to be traversed. Okay, but here the AODV, that is ADHAC on demand distance routing protocol, only stores the next hop information. Okay, in the previously we can stores the total source to destination path can be stored. Okay, but in the case of AODV, so only next hop information, that is adjacent information to corresponding flow, to each flow. That is the major differences between DSR and AODV. Okay, here there are messages. Here the messages are three types of messages. One is route request message, another is route reply message, another is route error message. Okay, so in the route request message route request packet can carries the source ID, destination sequence number, broadcast ID, and TTL, and time to live, and here the destination sequence number indicates the freshness of the route is accepted. So intermediate node, once intermediate node is receives to the route request packet, so it prepares where this packet is sending, so where the packet is comes, so all these information will know over the intermediate node. Okay, and next another packet is route reply packet. So in the case of route reply packet, a node receives route reply packet will record the information at the next hop to the destination. So this is the route reply packet. Suppose in this example, suppose we will discuss in this example. So source ID is 1 and destination ID is 15. So there are two messages, route reply, route request and route request message. So first the source node will send the route request messages to the corresponding adjacent nodes. Like this, all adjacent nodes, that is 2 is sending the 3 and 5 is sending to the 4. So like this, all adjacent node will reaches the route request messages. Okay, so here the 3 is got from the root request message from 2, and 4 is reached to the root request message to 2, and 5 sends the root request to 4. Like this, all adjacent nodes will sends the root request message. So once this root request message is reached to the destination will sends the root reply packet, root reply signal. So this root reply signal whenever reaches to the source node, so for this route the data can be, that is the packet can be transferred. So here there are two paths, 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 14, 14 to 15, and path 2 is 1 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 12, 12 to 15. So these are the two paths to reach the destination. Okay, so here if there is any one of the link is broken, so if there is one of the link is broken, the broken link, the message will reach to the source. So once this message, link message, that is error message, will reaches to the source will automatically resend to the another path to the same packet. Okay, so this is the route maintenance in AODV, that is ADHAC on demand vector protocol. Okay, ADHAC on demand distance vector routing protocol. So in this advantages, advantages is establish on demand, we can establish on demand path between source and destination, and another one is destination sequences are used to find the least path to the destination, and another advantage is the connection setup delay is less. Okay, these are the three advantages in AODV, and another one is disadvantages. So in the case of disadvantages, so here the intermediate node can lead the inconsistent route, that is the disadvantage, and another one is heavy control overhead. So these are the some disadvantages in AODV. Okay, so and another thing, another protocol is temporarily ordered routing algorithm. So in the temporarily ordered routing algorithm is a source initiated on demand routing protocol, so which can use the link reversal routing algorithm. So and it is a loop free multiple path routes. Okay, here there are three main functions. One is route establishment phase, and another one is route maintenance, and another one is route arranging. So here the route establishment phase, when a node requires a path to a destination but does not have any directed link. Okay, so from the source to destination there is no direct link is available in the route establishment phase. So first the source node will send the data to the adjacent nodes. From this adjacent node again the data will send to the their adjacent nodes. Okay, so like this, that route is establishment in the route establishment phase and route maintenance phase. So in this case route maintenance means if any one of the link is broken, so the source node will know the broken link path. So after that so with the source will sends the packet to the another path. Like this we can maintain the route and route erasing. So in the case of route erasing, so here the clear packet, that is CLR packet, will sends to the source node. So that is route erasing. That means the completely the path, the particular path is clear to the source to destination. Like this the temporarily, so that is temporarily ordered algorithm. So this is the temporarily ordered algorithm. By using this temporarily ordered algorithm, so we can reach the packet. That is the advantages. So in this the advantages is less control overhead, and disadvantage is local reconfiguration of paths result. So optimal routes, there is routes in no optimal routes. So this is the advantage and disadvantage of TORA. Okay, and another thing is another algorithm is location aided routing. So LAR, this is the another algorithm for the on demand routing protocol to reach our destination. Okay, utilize the location information. Okay, note the location information. So that is location information for improving the efficiency of routing by reducing the control overhead. So here based on the routing is done in the based on the GPS, that is a global positioning system for obtaining the geographical position information for necessary routing. Okay, here we are using global positioning system. Okay, so location aided routing uses the GPS. By using this GPS global positioning system, we can transfer the data. So here there are zones. Here there are two zones are there. So one is expected zone, another is requested zone. So in the case of expected zone, the destination node is expected to the presented. So in the case of expected zone, the destination node is available. Protocols.